How's it going, everybody? Welcome to Daily Fantasy Live presented by FanDuel. Hanging here with the boys, Dave Richard, Heath Cummings. How's it going, guys? Doing good?
Great.
It's a wonderful day.
You have been on this World Series hangover for the last couple of days.
No, a hangover's
this
bad.
Team,
Hangovers are bad.
Well, you've certainly been enjoying it, though. You were watching the parade all day today. I'm surprised you had time to study for the show.
I always have time to study for the show. You are the most important thing. The World Series comes after that.
I was there to celebrate, by the way, with you.
Yeah.
I wonder what that looked like, you celebrating a World Series.
It's something we can all imagine.
It's on Twitter if you want to go check it out, at Heath Cummings Sr., the video of him celebrating the Royals World Series. Congratulations, by the way. I know that must have been a cool moment for you. And we all know on this show how big of a Royals homer you are. And you followed through with the process. It was great.
I'm just really excited about talking about Week 9.
We are going to talk about Week 9.
Look, is this your Belichick impersonation where you're like deflecting in every way possible?
Well, we're ready
on to the Redskins.
We're focused on the next game and the next team and the next week.
Forgot his hoodie.
But you're wearing your
We had a good
Arizona
week in
Cardinals
DFS
colors.
this week.
Yes, we certainly did.
Let's have another one.
We did. And look, we'll look between the lines for Week 9, and certainly a lot of the money will probably point towards the New England Patriots because, once again, they have a great matchup, and they are the highest projected scoring team of the week.
Not just the highest projected scoring, but also the highest costing. Tom Brady, Rob Gronkowski, the most expensive players at their position. They deserve to be, but Gronk is so expensive now, I don't know how I can fit him into a lineup. I think the intriguing thing, Dave, will be Deion Lewis and LeGarrette Blount. This feels like a LeGarrette Blount game.
Yes, it does. It really does. First of all, Gronk is more expensive than some quarterbacks.
Most.
Most quarterbacks and most other skill position players everywhere. There's no way I can use Gronk this week, even though the matchup says, yeah, sure, go ahead, use him. Washington's defense,
right?
No bueno. Of course, he's going to have good numbers, but he's going to have to deliver like a monster game in order to be worth it. So I'm going to stay away from him. I look at LeGarrette Blount. First of all, he was the cheapest Patriot on the board.
Yes.
Second of all, if New England builds a lead and kills the clock, that's the guy they're going to kill the clock with in the second half. And Washington's run defense has gone the way of the dodo bird. They are really terrible against the run. I don't think that's going to change coming out of the bye. So I like LeGarrette Blount this week. That's not a bad play at all.
I know you mentioned earlier that Gronk was priced at least as well as some of the other quarterbacks on the board. Drew Brees is the same price as Gronk this week. And Brees in that offense projected by Vegas to score a lot.
Oh, absolutely. And I think against the Titans, this is a good matchup, but it's not quite as good a matchup as everybody seems to think it is. The Tennessee Titans have been better defensively than we expected so far this year. They've got a new head coach. I wouldn't be surprised to see a little bit of inspiration from them. CJ Spiller at 5,500 really intrigues me. With Kyrie Robinson getting hurt, somebody's going to get the extra touches. They're not giving the ball to Mark Ingram 30, 35 times. They're going to run the ball a lot because they're going to be ahead. I think Spiller could be a good value play.
I don't know if I buy into that.
Okay.
I don't love it because I don't look at him playing in the same role as Kyrie Robinson.
No, not at all. I agree.
And I think that New Orleans is one of those teams where they get a guy in a role and they're going to keep him there. They want him to be an expert in that role.
Right.
They don't want to change him and make him a novice in another role unless they absolutely have to.
I think CJ Spiller has become an expert in playing 5 snaps per game and catching 2 passes. And I think maybe he's advanced to where he could take on a little bit bigger role.
And they want to give him a little bit more, but I don't know if they want to make him like a 50-50 back with
No, I don't think so.
And I don't know if they want to put him in at the goal line like they were doing with Kyrie Robinson.
No, I wouldn't expect so. Another guy that interesting on that team has been Watson. He's 5,700 tight end. He's had a monster game. He's the same price as Jordan Reed. He's the same price as Charles Clay. I like him more than Clay. I don't think I like him as much as Reed, though.
No, I don't either, because Reed's got New England, and Washington's going to play from behind, and this is the top target for Kirk Cousins, so that's probably going to be my tight end in a lot of my head.
I'll be interested to see how many people go point chasing with Drew Brees after the 7 touchdowns last week.
A lot.
A lot of people are going to think that Brees is going to have a repeat performance, and he very well could throw 4 touchdowns against the Titans defense. But I don't think we're going to see another 7-touchdown game from Drew Brees. I could be wrong, though. Steelers and the Raiders. Hey, the Steelers lost Le'Veon Bell, but they're still the 3rd highest projected scoring team on the slate. Hey, Big Ben, Antonio Brown, Bryant, they kind of let us down a little bit last week.
They let you down a lot last week. Bryant had 9 targets, 4 deep passes, only reeled in one of them, and it wasn't for even 20 yards. Brown had the early touchdown, and you're thinking, all right, here we go. Antonio Brown's back, Big Ben's back, here come the big numbers, and they really fell flat, and yet his price went up $300 from last week, if I recall.
Yep.
He was at $8,400. And now he's at $8,700. I like Roethlisberger this week. I think the price isn't that bad. And D'Angelo Williams is a good buy. I don't know if he's a great one. Oakland's run defense has been pretty good this season.
Yeah.
And I think Pittsburgh's going to need to throw the ball. this is the perfect bounce back game for Roethlisberger. So I don't mind starting him as one of a handful of quarterbacks that I'll take over Breeze, because I know that so many other people are going to start Breeze based on what he did last week.
If I hadn't been so busy today watching the parade, I wanted to make one of those big signs that says it's a trap. And every time somebody talked about D'Angelo Williams taking over Le'Veon Bell's role at only $6,500, I wanted to raise my sign and say it's a trap. The Raiders aren't bad against the run anymore. 3.5 yards per carry. I really think, though, Ben, Antonio Brown, Heath Miller, Martavis Bryant, I think this passing game has a big day.
I don't have a problem with starting D'Angelo. It's just probably something that I'm not going to do.
It's a trap.
It's a trap. By the way, the Jets defense, or the Jets offense, didn't look that great against this Oakland Raiders defense.
Oh no, but they're not the Steelers either.
No, they're not. But don't fall into that trap either, thinking that the Steelers are going to put up 30 points on the Raiders. I don't know if that's actually going to happen this week.
I kind of expect they will. I just don't know if any of it will be running the ball.
Right. Well, listen, if they're putting up 30 points on the Raiders, D'Angelo Williams is scoring at least 6 of those 30 points.
It'll be interesting.
This is not going to be a 5-touchdown game for Roethlisberger.
Another team that's projected to score over 25 points in Week 9 would be the San Diego Chargers against the Chicago Bears. Another offense that really let us down this week. Didn't live up to the expectations, but against the Bears, this could be a good one for Phillip Rivers and the boys.
This will probably be, and we're not far enough into the week for me to say this for sure, this will probably be my favorite stack of the week, just because Phillip Rivers, yeah, he's expensive. But then Malcolm Floyd, Stevie Johnson, both very affordable. Antonio Gates at $6,000. He should be more than that. He should probably be the second most expensive tight end on the board. He's pretty close. I will have a lot of Rivers Johnson Gates or Rivers Floyd Gates or Rivers Floyd Johnson.
And keep in mind the reason you don't see Keenan Allen on that list, he is out for the year with that kidney injury.
Steve Johnson at 5,400 is a fantastic add to any lineup because he's got the versatility to line up inside or outside for San Diego. He's got Phillip Rivers' trust. They're going to throw a bunch because no one's buying Melvin Gordon as a great rusher. Danny Woodhead isn't. He's kind of like C.J. Spiller in New Orleans. He's only going to do so much work in a certain role. I think there's a great opportunity for Steve Johnson to have a nice week against the Bears.
Double-digit fantasy points for Johnson just twice this year. That came in the early part of the season.
Get ready to make it 3 times.
But, again, no Keenan Allen in there, and Phillip Rivers has to throw the football to somebody. You'd expect that Johnson would take some of that workload away from him. All right, guys, when we come back, I feel like we had a little Eli Manning love on the other side. He threw 6 touchdowns and 0 interceptions in a loss last week, but he's got another great matchup this week. We'll talk about him and the other quarterbacks we are considering after the break. Guys, let's tell you about FanDuel and how you can get involved in the $450K Thursday NFL Rush. All it takes is $5 out of your pocket and into the contest, and you have a shot at winning $40,000. And 20,222 of you, I like the numbers there. You're going to cash in and leave this tournament with some cash in your pocket. Use the promo code DFLive. We're talking quarterbacks, and we return.